Hey, whoa, yo, what's going on, good people? Mike Webb, and hey, I'm starting my new 365 transformation. That's pretty much what this is. Talking about some transforming decisions that I'm making with my health, why I'm making these decisions, and things that I'm learning along the way, right? So I'll keep this one real brief since it's the first one, but I want to kind of talk about, the past few years, maybe 2 to 3 years. So I had this thought of this understanding that, some of my friends were, having heart attacks and dying, having heart attacks, getting stents put in, just all these different things, right? So, and I just thought, man, it's just a matter of us getting older, which is partially true. But what I've learned is that it's more about us getting older and not having taken better care of ourselves when we were younger. The good news is that we can turn it around. And I was walking through Sprouts the other day, and I realized, man, that I have become one of those people, right? So I'm in Sprouts because of what I recently learned about organic versus non-organic food. Just to be brief, give you an example, and a lot of it has to do with assimilation, right? Our body's ability to take these foods, digest them, and then absorb them at the cellular level, and then use them for energy properly. Well, let me use an apple for an example, right? If you buy an organic apple may have something like, I don't know, man. It has a number of minerals, maybe like 30 minerals and vitamins inside of an organic apple. And you can't like bite into an apple and just say, I'm just going to get the vitamin A out. Well, when you bite into an apple, if it's organic, and I'll talk about non-organic in a second, but if it's organic, you're getting the vitamin A, which is also attached to like magnesium, which is also attached to fatty acids, because vitamin A is fat soluble, which is also attached to vitamin C, but then vitamin C is also attached to vitamin E. It's also attached, which vitamin E has like 4 elements attached to it, like, potassium and all of these other minerals and vitamins. And it's a crazy web of connected vitamins and minerals and carbohydrates and protein. But when you buy an apple that's not organic, what I've learned is that we're buying foods, and we've known this, right? We've known that these foods are treated with pesticides, treated with herbicides, treated with all these things just to make the shelf life and the presentation look a lot better. But what that has done is that's taken all the nutrients out. So you may only have like 3 nutrients or 3 vitamins in it that don't have the connecting minerals so our bodies can absorb it and assimilate it, right? So once I learned that, I was like, wow, man, so this is why we're really developing these diseases and we don't know it. It's a combination of things. Even we think about the things we use around our house, and we're breathing these things, we're ingesting these things, and we're not detoxifying, right? Now, when I'm talking detoxifying, I'm not just talking about, I think the biggest thing is like this cabbage diet. I'm not talking about that. I mean, man, I'm talking about some serious things that detoxify the body. And for me, I'm moving my way towards a coffee enema, right? I'll talk about that later, but it really detoxifies the liver. But, when I started looking at, friends that I had, man, a lot that, in my opinion, they were eating better than me, looking better physically than me. I thought, man, they got cancer. How did that happen? That's just the bad luck of the draw. Well, that's not necessarily the case. In some instances, the bad luck of the draw is just because it happened to them versus happening to me. Because I know, man, I have friends, we believe the same, we hold the same confessions of faith. And a lot of that bothered me, bothered me how someone could develop cancer and die, right? But now, based on the things that I've learned, it all makes sense. We haven't had the proper nutrition. I mean, we thought we were getting it, but we haven't had the proper nutrition that gives our body the ability to heal itself. See, the immune system that we have, that's what our immune system does. Think about when you sneeze, right? That's your immune system at work. Your body is keeping something out that shouldn't be in there. It disturbed it. The immune system kicked in. You started sneezing. Boom, whatever it was, that's like one of the first lines of defense. Well, that even transpires transpires into other things. So whether it's high blood pressure, hypertension, those things are a result of a failing immune system. And what I've learned is, and we all know this, we know that medicine, pharmaceuticals that are being prescribed, they don't heal the body, they just deal with the symptoms. So, I have friends who are dealing with cancer, battling cancer right now. A couple of my wife's friends, one of them is dealing with breast cancer. One of them had breast cancer, or she got diagnosed with breast cancer, which seemed like on Monday. And I think I may have asked about her like Tuesday or Thursday, and my wife said, well, she had both of her breasts cut off. Well, I'm going to bring some information and direct you guys to some people who emphatically rejected chemotherapy, and they rejected radiation, because chemo and radiation actually gives you cancer. And cutting off a breast doesn't heal cancer. It just cuts off the tumors that were in the breast, right? So I got a guy, Charles, I'm gonna talk to, man. Bring Charles in. We're gonna load him up, put him on video. He got diagnosed with multiple myeloma. So if you want to research multiple myeloma, it's a very aggressive form of cancer, but he was emphatic about not having chemo and not having radiation. He was like, no, man, those things, they actually give people cancer, and more than likely the chemo kills people faster than the cancer. But Charles is 100% totally cured. He's healed, no signs of cancer. And when he told the doctors he wasn't doing chemo or radiation, man, they told him, well, there's nothing we can do for you. And, that's just the attitude. But, it's a lot of things I want to talk about on this journey, man. Things, that I'm learning, that I have learned. But I also wanted to have some type of accountability with what I'm doing, right? Like right now, I'm at the park. I wanted to get some sun, get some natural sun, get some natural air. Of course, a lot of people know, hey, man, you get some sun, that affects and impacts and increases your vitamin D, those types of things. But, just to have some type of accountability, but at the same time, share some good information. Bring in a few people who have won the battle against what we call these chronic and degenerative diseases, and they did it with food. Food should be our medicine. In fact, Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine, and let medicine be your food. So I'm seeing why he said that, learning some good stuff. But man, if we're not having an understanding behind it, then we just won't make a change. And that was my issue. I saw McDonald's and I bagged off McDonald's quite a bit, but if I wanted it, I still got in there and got it. Well, now that I've learned about how meat has affected our pancreas enzymes, right? Man, our pancreas wasn't designed to take on these loads of meat that we're putting in our bodies. So one of the changes I've made is, for the last 3 weeks, I have not had, I religiously ate bacon and eggs, but I haven't had bacon or eggs for breakfast. Instead, I'll eat some oatmeal. The other thing I've done is I've started juicing. Now, juicing is a powerful way to get nutrients directly into your bloodstream. And now, juicing is not the same as drinking a smoothie. and I'll talk about that on something else. But for the most part, I just wanted to touch base on assimilation. I wish I could post these some photos. I might be able to put some photos at the bottom of the post, so you can see how all of these vitamins, minerals are compounded and just in one bite of an apple. You get all of these things because the body needs all of them. It's called it's called being protein bounded, right? So, I mean, a lot of people didn't know. No, let me back up. I didn't know. So I'm going to assume a lot of people don't know that apples actually have protein in them. You know, carrots have protein in them. And man, you couldn't get me to eat a carrot for anything. Now I'm drinking, you know, carrot juices. So I'm gonna talk a lot about it. You know, again, man, this is just my little 365-day transformation, sharing some stuff, inviting you guys in because I want y'all to hold me accountable. And then listen, if you out there, you working out, you doing something, hit me up, let me know. You know, I'm developing the website 365transformation.com. The email address is askmike@365.com. If you, I'm sorry, 365transformation.com. Like if you have a question about something that I mentioned, maybe I don't fully develop a thought, you can kind of, you know, correct me and say, hey man, will you go back and be clear about that, or you misstated something. You know, I'm not perfect. I'm probably going to misstate some things here and there, but I want to put out some accurate information. And if you're out there working out, man, walking around the park, hit me up. Maybe I'll come out and walk with you so I can get my exercise in. Just trying to stay motivated, trying to share some stuff. I have some other ideas about some things I want to do. I don't want to let all of that out the bag just yet, but let's go. You know, let's do this thing. We can do this thing together. If y'all keep motivating me, I try to motivate you. Let's do this stuff together. And let's do what it takes, man, to get our bodies back right. Let's take our health back. This is something I really learned. It's not my doctor's responsibility for me to be healthy. It's my responsibility for me to be healthy. And a lot of times what we do is, man, we give control to the doctors, right? You go to the doctor, they diagnose you, they tell you what to do. Or even worse, they tell you what they're gonna do. You know, like, we're gonna perform this particular surgery, and you just go along with it. And I don't want us to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm no longer doing that. You know, I felt one time, man, I went to my doctor. I was having some headaches, and I called my doctor, got to the nurse, and I said, hey, you know, I need you to rewrite this prescription, you know, for this headache medicine. And she said, well, I'm not going to do it if you don't come in and get a physical, you know. And I felt like, man, this woman is really trying to hijack me and blackmail me into coming and get a physical before she rewrites a prescription for something they already wrote a prescription for. Well, I didn't go. I'm like, no, I'm not going to fall into that, you know, being manipulated, you know, by a system. The good news is, you know, what I've learned is that a lot of times these headaches were happening because I was being dehydrated, right? So later I'll talk about different types of water, what they mean to the body. A lot of you are hearing about, you know, alkaline and non-alkaline and what that has to do with the importance in the body. We'll talk about some of that. But the good news is, man, I haven't had a single headache in this area like I used to since I didn't go back to the doctor, right? Felt like I just kind of removed myself from under some type of dominion, and it freed me up totally. But the other day, I did get a headache on the other side of my head, but I knew exactly what it was from. You know, I'd stopped drinking coffee. I hadn't had coffee in maybe 10 days. And then when I drank it, basically, you know, the caffeine dehydrates your body. It takes out more water than it puts in. And I knew exactly what it was. So I didn't take any medicine, didn't take any pills, no Excedrin, no nothing. I just started drinking water. And after I rehydrated, I was in great shape, man. No more headaches. So the other thing I'm learning is these things that I'm doing, I'm able to pinpoint when I eat certain foods or make certain changes that affect my body, and I know what to do about it. You know, I know what's causing it. So it doesn't put any type of fear with what I'm dealing with. So most of the times, you know, we make decisions, fear-based decisions. And when a person, and there's been a lot of studies about people who make decisions while they're in fear, about the area of the brain. Boy, this net just came out of nowhere. But they talk about the area of the brain that controls decision making. But when you're under stress and you're in fear, then you don't make good decisions. So, you know, I don't know, man, that's some other stuff. That may be a little too deep than what we want to get into. But all these studies are out there. So from time to time, man, I'll post information down on the bottom. I guess this gnat is telling me it's time to shut it down. But hey, you know, y'all help me stay on the grind. Help keep me accountable. Help share your story, share your information. Let me know what you're dealing with. Maybe we can pull up together and we can put this information and we can put this content out there together about what you're doing to win in life and to win the health game and be healthy. You know, listen, let's be these people who live 110, 120 and be healthy, wealthy and wise. And then when we decide we want to get out of here after we've completed our purpose, we can just say, listen, man, I'm laying down tonight and I'm not getting up tomorrow. I'm through. I'm out of here. So that's all I'm going to talk about today. Mike Webb, 365 Transformation. Let's go. 45, 47.